Right now, a few seconds shy of 6 a.m., and we are live across the metro area for you. A major cone zone in the works along C-470. Our Eric Lufer will have new details on the impact.
And Tyler Lopez live in Denver today. Some protection for the millions hit by that Anthem hack attack.
And once again, Denver split right between two storms.
That's right. Boston bracing for freezing temperatures and blizzard-like conditions yet again. Well, we'll be sunny in the 60s.
Like last week, another chance of snow, though. It's not very far away, so let's check in now with Storm Station 7's Lisa Hidalgo.
It's going to be another roller coaster 7-day period, but today, the warm day. We're looking at temperatures like yesterday, well above normal. At this point, we're about 8 to 10 degrees warmer than the same time yesterday morning. So a decent day as you walk out the door. 36 in Denver, 30 right now in Greeley, and 36 in Boulder. You've got some teens and 20s in the mountains. But looking at our hourly planner, we warm nicely. So by 9 o'clock in the mid-40s, by noon 60, and unlike yesterday, a lot more sunshine to start. So by 2 o'clock, we're at 64 degrees here in Denver. Warmer day today. We get 60s again tomorrow, and then we'll start to see a change. I'll detail all of that coming up in just a few minutes. Traffic now over to the big guy with a look at the Friday morning drive, and so far so good.
Yeah, so far so great. We have lighter than normal traffic. Fridays are a little bit lighter than normal anyway. Your Air Tracker 7 will be up in just a second. This was the picture when they landed yesterday afternoon, and so we'll get them up in the air in just a second. You can see the overall picture where we're seeing very easy drive into downtown Denver right now. The map shows us a lot of good driving conditions with very high speeds on I-25, on Highway 36. Fridays are usually a little bit lighter than normal. Today, there's a lot of schools that are off, including down in Douglas County, so we could see lighter than normal here on this Friday, the 13th. We'll see how it plays out.
Lighter than normal. Got it, Jason. Thank you. Just about 6:01 now, and new this morning, firefighters from Lafayette and Mountain View Fire Departments able to knock out a house fire. This started just about 3 hours ago on Beasley Drive in Erie. One firefighter did go to the hospital with some injuries, but we are told everyone's going to be okay. The fire was contained to just one room there. Just about 6:02, and right now, police interviewing passengers after a man is hit and dragged under a light rail train. Air Tracker 7 was over this area at 14th in California yesterday evening. This caused all sorts of traffic troubles. Investigators still trying to figure out why this man was there in the first place. They tell us there are several cameras in the area.
It's 6:02 now, and Broomfield police are sharing this photograph, hoping to catch this guy. This is a driver, Joey Dellert, wanted in a string of burglaries. On top of that, he's accused of taking off when an officer approached him and then dragging the officer. This happened yesterday morning. This is near the Sienna Reservoir, so it's over off Northwest Parkway, Lowell Boulevard. The officer who was dragged, not seriously hurt. Police believe Dellert is driving a white BMW. You see in the surveillance picture, it may have some damage on the front end, so be on the lookout. This morning, the FBI launching its own investigation into the killings of 3 college students in North Carolina. They want to know if the shooting of 3 Muslim people constitutes a hate crime. Police say the killings may be related to a long-standing dispute over parking, but several neighbors say they never had an issue.
To make it about that, I think we're smarter as a city, as a state, and as a nation than that. It's not about parking.
The 3 victims buried yesterday. Authorities seized a computer from the suspect's home as they look into whether or not 46-year-old Craig Hicks, you see here, had any anti-Muslim sentiment.
It's 6:03 now, and today, new action to follow up on cybersecurity threats. President Obama travels to the San Francisco Bay Area to sign a new executive order, and this creates organizations to track cyber threats.
And a Call 7 consumer alert for you now on this Friday. I tweeted about this just a few minutes ago. As of 2 p.m. today, Anthem customers have access to some free services as a result of that massive cyber attack. They include identity theft repair and credit monitoring. As for the investigation, we know that the FBI is involved. They believe it was an outside job, have not identified the hackers, though. And they've also hired an outside firm, Mandiant, a cybersecurity firm, to take a look at Anthem's vulnerabilities now, going forward with the possibility of another cyber attack. Take a look, though, at what they believe is at stake. A staggering number of people involved, up to 80 million people total, may have had their names, their birthdays, yes, social security numbers, medical IDs, even their employer and email addresses taken. It's possible the hackers have access now to income levels, street addresses, may now all be known to someone else. They don't believe, though, that they've actually got credit card information or medical records themselves. There's also a phone number available. It's 877-263-7995 if you have questions, but anthemfacts.com, the best source right now, just reporting a few minutes ago that as of 2 p.m. today, their customers can get those free services for 2 years. Kelly?
All right, Tyler, thank you. It's 6:04, and right now a Denver area veteran raising concerns about a document handed to him at the Denver VA Medical Center. He says it would bar him from contacting members of Congress or the media. We actually spoke to Daniel King about his treatment back in October. King says the hospital director later admitted to him that this behavior contract is not a standard VA document. Right now, VA officials are accusing him of being abusive to hospital staff, which he denies.
So keep an eye on your mail if you live in Larimer or Weld counties. Researchers are sending out 1,400 surveys to gauge the impact of oil and gas production. This is going to focus on neighborhoods with existing or planned drilling sites. These surveys taken once now and then again in the spring, so be on a lookout. A lot of you might argue that C-470 should have been widened a long time ago, but people who live within earshot of that highway say just hold on a minute. This is an animation of the plan to widen C-470, eventually add some toll lanes. Our Eric Lufer in Highlands Ranch this morning. And Eric, neighbors are concerned about the noise.
They are, and CDOT has been working to determine just how much more noise the lane expansions will bring to neighborhoods lined all along C-470 here from Highlands Ranch to the Chatfield area. CDOT, they've been sharing their findings with concerned residents. They did that during a couple public meetings this week. In just a second, I'm going to use this noise measurement app to test just how loud it is along the highway here. But first, the expansion itself. We're talking about 3 toll lanes that are going to be put in. We have introduced this to you before. It's 3 toll lanes between I-25 and Colorado Boulevard, 2 westbound, 1 eastbound. We've got an animation of what it would look like approaching Santa Fe. The whole widening project not expected to be finished until 2035. Now, CDOT has noise mitigation recommendations for the list of neighborhoods they believe will be affected. That includes the option of noise barriers. So back here live, here's this noise measurement app I have. I'm going to pause. We're about 100 yards from the highway here. Let's listen in. So it looks like we've got about decibels of about 68 just from the highway noise. Now, CDOT is saying that affected neighborhoods won't see any more than a 10 decibel increase once the lane expansion project is finished. Mitch.
All right, Eric, thank you for the update. 6:06 now. Today, bicyclists will stage what they're calling a love-in in Denver. Bike Denver is going to urge Denver Mayor Michael Hancock to extend a bike lane through the city. So this is here on the map. This is where the existing lane is along Broadway there, and this is where they have one up near Brighton Boulevard. So this is where the heart is there. That's the section they want to complete. So it's then all connected, making one nice long bike path for bicyclists. Kelly?
Well, 6:07 and only on 7 News, an Aurora man shot after he was robbed on an RTD bus. Jordan Hof and his mother say they're just worried the shooters might get away with this. He was shot in the back and face last month after chasing a man who grabbed his cell phone.
They weren't afraid to shoot me, so they're going to be shooting somebody else.
Well, 7 News has confirmed there is video from that bus, but right now police are not releasing this to the public, concerned it could jeopardize the investigation. But they are releasing descriptions of the suspects. They are described as 2 black men in their mid to late teens, both between 5'7", 5'9", with a medium build.
6:07 now, and it seems Boston has all the luck. Snowstorm after snowstorm just slamming that city.
Yeah, this morning, freezing temperatures as yet another storm moves toward New England with blizzard watches in effect for the weekend. And what they really need is just the opposite, some dry, warmer weather to melt all that snow. So the mounting snow piles are a real hazard for drivers and pedestrians.
It's hard. It's like an obstacle course over here. You have to, cross further into the street, so that makes it difficult.
The problems across the East. New York City firefighters digging out some fire hydrants, trying to make sure those piles of snow don't slow down the response times. And the weight of the snow, too much for a gas station in New Hampshire. It crashed right on top of an SUV. Look at that. Luckily, nobody was hurt. That's good to hear. 6:08 in Denver, the Valentine's Day weekend looking great. Here's Storm Station 7's Lisa Hidalgo.
Compared to them, we could be wearing short sleeves and flip-flops this afternoon. Another mostly sunny, warm day today. We put up a yellow light this morning due to that sunshine. It's going to be a bright drive in by lunch, dry statewide, and perfect for happy hour this afternoon as you're heading home. You're going to find temperatures topping out at about 2 to 3 o'clock in the mid to upper 60s. Broomfield 65, Thornton 66, and in Highlands Ranch and Parker, a high of 62.
Still seeing a really quiet drive around town with no significant problems to tell you about on or off the highway. You're seeing a little bit of extra traffic here on the north side of town. Pretty typical from after 104th down through 84th, but not that super tight stop and go. We'll keep an eye on the drive and also on your forecast during the break on Super Screen 7.
You're watching